Hello, I'm Simon Christie and welcome to the one and only 4-Wheel Drive TV. We've got a great episode for you, a great series. Let's get stuck into it. Tread lightly, keep it safe, play hard. Welcome to the 2012 Opposite Lock Challenge from New South Wales. To find out more, let's catch up with the event organiser, Jamie Smith from the On All Fours 4-Wheel Drive Club.
Go, go! Tell us a little bit about the event.
Basically, it's a fun weekend. It's made up of 8 tracks, 4 harder tracks and 4 easier tracks, like games events for like golf balls, frisbees, reversing events and a famous travel ramp. The harder tracks are like a hill climb, the Rocky Mountain, and the other 2 tracks is a rock and slog and the mud run.
Got the mud run. What's that all about?
Basically, it's a series of wombat holes. Fairly deep wombat holes before it gets to the last hole, which is full of water. They're fairly steep holes. Yeah, you have to give it plenty of hoot to get out of there.
Pretty hard work in those mud holes.
The last week we've had a heap of rain, and that's what's causing that issue there. Two days of dry weather now. I think you'll get some coming out of there now.
This year's Opposite Lock Challenge was held near Abbotsford in New South Wales, 30 kilometres from Mudgee. Run by the On All Fours 4-Wheel Drive Club, this club level event caters for a diversity of vehicles, from family tourers right through to hardcore tough trucks. Coming up, we've got highlights from all of the weekend stages, but for now, let's follow some of the exciting action from the mud course. Viewers, this delicious cocktail here is indication of why diesel filtration is so critical. Now, Brett from 4x4 Obsession pulled this out of a vehicle for us. This was in after 3 weeks of setting up a fuel filtration kit.
die, sold to the bone without the
The four-wheel drive was used on a job site. The guys who were driving the four-wheel drive noticed a bit of a problem, brought the vehicle back in, and Brett drained this from the vehicle. So just 3 weeks of use. That's probably a little bit of petrol, a little bit of water and other contamination mixed in with the diesel. How can a vehicle run on this sort of crud? Again, this is why diesel filtration is so important in your four-wheel drives. Wouldn't want to drink that.
Good morning, guys. Yesterday when we were out in the tracks, we were using a lot of recovery equipment, and we were obviously hooking that recovery equipment, which is all good quality, reliable stuff, to vehicles. Now, how you attach your straps and your things and winch cables to vehicles is generally via a tie-down point or a recovery point. Now, this is actually one off a Toyota 100 Series Land Cruiser. Now, as you can see, it's quite a substantial piece of equipment. It's actually designed by the manufacturer as a legitimate recovery point. This one here, as you'll see, has actually ripped off. It's fallen off. Yes, there we go. This is a factory fitted point that you would use for towing or whatever. Unreal. Now, at one stage we were using a double line pull on a winch which is around about 10,000 pounds. That's about 20,000 pound of pull, and that was needing all that pull to pull that vehicle out of the hill. So recovery points are very, very important. Now, obviously it hasn't bent or broken, it's just the mounting that's let go. So be aware of that, check your recovery points, and don't use tie-down points as recovery points. There's a big difference. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you too, which is a bit interesting, is shackles. This little guy here is a 4.75 tonne rated shackle. Now, it's actually got it stamped on it and tells us what it's rated at. Now, I found this one when I was up in the farm. I painted it orange so as I don't lose it. Good reason for not losing things on farms. Orange is a good colour. Now, that looks a lot bigger and a lot stronger and perhaps a better shackle than what this little guy is here. Not the case, guys. This shackle is not rated. We do not know what it's going to do. We don't know how it's going to behave. It's very important to use rated, stamped, safe equipment, especially when you're pulling big capacity. So do it safe, do it right.
Carry to slow down right now. 1, 2, 3, stopping now.
Over the next few months, there are some great 4x4 events coming your way. The first week of October will see the huge nissanpatrol.com.au forum gathering in Queensland. The Adelaide 4-Wheel Drive Adventure Show is booked for the October long weekend. The Sydney 4-Wheel Drive Adventure Show will run for the third consecutive year at the Eastern Creek Raceway on the second weekend of October. One of our favourites, the Riverland 4x4 Challenge, is set to rock the Loveday 4x4 Adventure Park over the last weekend of October. The Manel Motors Open Day is booked for November 3. As one of Sydney's best 4-wheel drive shops, there'll be lots to see and do, as well as plenty of bargains on hand. Over the same weekend, but in northern Queensland, round 3 of the Winch Truck Series is locked in. And over the second weekend of November, the 9th to the 11th, the Perth 4-Wheel Drive Adventure Show will bring together Western Australia's best 4x4 identities, displays and activities. For details on these events and plenty more, check the website calendar at 4wheeldrivetv.com.au. And remember to watch 4-Wheel Drive TV for feature 4x4 motorsport stories. If you drive a 4-wheel drive with or without a dual battery kit, then it's time to upgrade. Modern vehicles and modern battery technologies require smart electronics, and the Piranha Off-Road Products DBE 140 dual battery controller has all the smart grunt you will need packed into an affordable and tiny package. Priced at just $170, the Piranha DBE 140 is the smart choice in dual battery management. For more information on how you can stay charged, visit piranhaoffroad.com.au.
Finally, the driving light you've always wanted is here, boasting a class-leading freeform reflector and a super tough polycarbonate lens and ABS housing. The all-new Nava Ultimate 225 is a revolutionary driving light, available in halogen, halogen blue and HID, in both spread and pencil beams, and supplied complete with a plug-and-play wiring harness and polycarbonate lens protectors. These Aussie Outback Tough Lights outshine the competition. Visit nava.com.au for more information and make the switch to the brightest lights in town.
I'm Chris Weston, off-road racer and owner of Off-Road Rush, and I wouldn't race on anything else than my Mickey Thompson tyres.
I trust my Mickey Thompsons at high speed. They can handle wet or dry without any trouble. And that means I can keep racing while the competitors stop to change tyres. Mickey Thompson? No wonder they call them legendary.
Call 1300-MICKEY for your nearest dealer.
In between episodes of your favourite TV show, visit fourwheeldrivetv.com.au for the latest in 4x4 news, links, prizes and videos. Stay in touch with myself and Danny and receive regular updates, promos and photos via our Facebook page. And visit youtube.com/4wheeldrivetvtube for our latest 4x4 videos. There's 3 great ways to stay up to date and in touch with our growing 4-wheel drive community in between episodes.
Another challenging event, fairly rocky and lots of climbs to do. Just walk us through that one.
Oh yeah, look, it's very rocky. There's a lot of trees, but it's all got to do with driver skill. If you drive carefully, you won't do any damage to your car. 90% of the cars got through this track. Just the Outlaws, there's only one what's got through this track yesterday, but I expect a better day today.
And the Rock and Slog at night, fantastic spectacle for all the people that were there, but a pretty tough little track through the gully.
Yeah, that's our premier event. Yeah, last night was challenging. We've had 26 Outlaw cars this year, where we only had 16 last year. So yeah, it was a late night last night. We got to 1 o'clock. We had a rollover for Hilux on the second car through. That was very challenging to get him out where he was, but we had some really good drives, and only actually one car actually got through last night out of all of them.
With the night stage running into the wee hours, there was still 1 day of competition left to go. Stay tuned for the next Opposite Lock Challenge story, where we take a closer look at the far tamer novelty events. All that and plenty more still to come on this week's episode.
Hi, I'm Brett from 4x4 Obsession. At the moment we're currently doing another conversion on a 80 series just like we did with Danny's. As you might have seen, we dropped an LS2 into Danny's car not long ago. The auto out of this conversion was built by Wholesale Automatics. It's actually one of their extreme boxes, so it should actually hold up to the four-wheel driving quite well. We're just looking into some of the little traps that you might run into when you're actually converting these. This one here that we're doing is actually being converted from manual to an auto. One of the things that we have found is to watch out for the front tail shaft clearances against the sump, like this one here that we've just started to modify. It's little traps like this that will actually get people stuck out in the bush. If the tail shaft actually is too close, it will clean up the edge of the sump and actually dent it or actually damage the valve body on the automatic transmission. Just some things to look for. It's one of the reasons why you probably should seek some expert advice on the conversions when you're doing them, just to make sure that you do not fall into these little pitfalls and you get everything exactly right. It's great being in contact with Wholesale Automatics. Their wealth of knowledge on these autos is invaluable. things like distances between the servo to the pan and the filter clearances allows us to actually cut as much out of the pan as we possibly can safely without doing any damage. I'm Brett from 4x4 Obsession. Thanks for watching 4 Wheel Drive TV.
Through 4 Wheel Drive TV, we again have a selection of great prizes to give away courtesy of our sponsors. As always, there's the 12-month subscription to Dirt Comp magazine, Australia's very own motorsport and recreational 4-wheel drive publication. The Spanset Outback Recovery Kit with a full arsenal of 3 straps, rated shackles and a carry bag. The Ultima 225 driving lights from Nava boasting freeform reflectors, polycarbonate lenses and a complete plug-and-play wiring loom. And the ARB $500 gift voucher to go towards a range of gear including air lockers, a bull bar, Old Man Emu suspension and plenty more. Now new for this series, we've got some more cool prizes. How about a set of either 800 or 1100mm tread recovery boards with a heavy duty carry bag and tread recovery leash? Or the Mean Mother Adventurer 2 160 litres per minute air compressor with a Mean Mother air pressure gauge. Or a $500 gift voucher from the team at Terrain Tamer to spend on a full range of 4x4 parts, gear and accessories. There's a Berrima Diesel fuel filtration kit valued at $400 and we've still got more prizes on the way. To be involved, simply send an email to myself. Write the prize in the subject line and your full name, address and contact number in the email. Full details can be found on the 4 Wheel Drive TV website. We look forward to your entries.
The next generation of shock absorbers is here. Leading the way in 4x4 suspension development, Old Man Emu introduces the most advanced and finely tuned shock absorber on the market. Nitro Charger Sport incorporates a new valving system that instantly adapts to all terrain for an outstanding smooth ride and phenomenal control. Backed by a 3-year, 60,000 kilometre warranty, you can trust Nitro Charger Sport, built in Australia for Australian conditions.
Viewers, the wait is over. Shop online at the 4 Wheel Drive TV store for personalised merchandise, 4 Wheel Drive TV clothing, 4 Wheel Drive products and even DVD subscriptions. That's right, 2 episodes of 4 Wheel Drive TV posted out to you every fortnight for the whole series, and all for just $50. Support your favourite program, wear the brand you love and never miss another episode with our collector's DVD subscriptions. Get shopping at 4wheeldrivetv.com.au with the 4 Wheel Drive TV online store.
Hi, my name's Adam. I've got a 1990 Toyota Land Cruiser 80 series. It's got a Commodore V8, auto, front and rear diff locks, bull bar, winch, rear bar, sliders, UHF. Future mods I'd like to do, still don't have a suspension lift yet, so that's one thing to do. Finish my spare wheel carriers for the back of it, and that's probably about all. Like to come up to Mount Disappointment up here. Been up here for the last 15, 20 years. Like to go out to Talangi, Murrindindi area. Been up to Fraser Island, been to Tassie, East Coast and West Coast. Been to South Australia, Robe and Beachport. Like to do the Cape and over to WA at some point in the future.
If you'd like to be the weekly Your Rig right here on 4 Wheel Drive TV, then send an email to myself with Your Rig in the subject line. Each weekly winner takes home an electric blue Spanset snap strap, a complete U-Fix-It windscreen repair kit, a DP chip stubby holder and Berrima Diesel cap, an ARB cap, a packet of Up and Go courtesy of Sanitarium, ARB Penrith stubby holder, an emergency can of ARB Outback Survival socks, an RFI stubby holder and an RFI cap, a HEMA Great Desert Tracks Atlas and Guide, an X17 Fiskars synthetic axe, a 911 memorial cap courtesy of 511 Tactical, an ARB rechargeable LED adventure light, ARB's latest new product, Forby the soft toy, a Travelmate tyre pressure gauge, a set of smart scissors from our good friends at Kiesler Knives, a magazine from Bow Hunter, Wild Deer and Hunting Adventures and Dirt Comp, and it's all neatly packed up in an ARB cargo gear carry bag.
I'd like to thank Simon and Miranda for inviting me, all the sponsors for all the great prizes. Hope you have a good day.
Let's just walk us through some of the novelty events.
The frisbee put on the bonnets of the cars with the tennis ball in them, and they've got to go around the actual track without losing that ball. If the ball does come out at that point marker, then that's where the points are awarded to. With the golf ball event, you've got 10 posts with golf balls on them. The car's got to touch the actual post without knocking the golf ball off. If it knocks the golf ball off, and then you lose 10 points, and there's maximum 100 points.
A new event in the hill climb, you've moved that to a new section, and that's pretty challenging, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good little sharp hill climb. But look, this will really test it out today. Whoever's got the power and whoever's got the grunt and plenty of right pedal, they'll get to the top of that today.
Jamie, this event wouldn't happen without the support of a lot of people.
At the end of the day, it's Opposite Lock who sponsor this event. This is the second year of their sponsorship, and can't run these events without sponsorship. Obviously the volunteers, clubs like Kamikaze helping on the hill climb. We've got the Brisbane Waters clubs helping the On-All Falls. Of course, the On-All Falls host the event. And just other volunteers as in first aid. And other volunteers, but people don't actually get to see what make these events happen.
Viewers, again there are a stack of events coming up where I'll be appearing across the rest of 2012. The 4-drive adventure shows for Adelaide, Sydney and Perth are heading your way. So if you live in any of those cities, make sure you make your way to these fantastic 4-wheel drive expos. The Adelaide show will be on the first weekend of October. You'll have all the major brands there, there'll be activities for the kids, outdoor dynamic displays and plenty more. The Sydney 4-wheel drive adventure show is booked for Eastern Creek on the second weekend of October. There you'll see all of the major brands and 4-wheel drive products again, but here we've got a massive extreme show put on by the guys and girls from the Kamikaze 4x4 Club. Now if that alone isn't enough to attract you to this amazing 4-wheel drive show, all of the major 4-wheel drive manufacturers will be there with vehicles that you can test drive yourself on the amazing 4-Wheel Drive Association driver training course up on the hill there at Eastern Creek. Moving on to the end of October, we've got one of our favourite events, Tony Waitley's Love Day 4x4 Adventure Park Riverland 4x4 Challenge. Now this, viewers, if you haven't seen it before, is an absolute spectacle. Vehicles flying through the air and racing across a number of heats over the Saturday and Sunday mornings, and then some tough final shootouts over the Sunday afternoon. This is a great weekend of 4-wheel drive spectating, a great weekend at an awesome 4-wheel drive park, and again, a favourite of myself and Miranda's. We'd love to see you there. Finishing off the 2012 series for the 4-wheel drive adventure shows will be Perth. Now this is the second weekend of November, and this is a major show not just for Perth but for Australia. So if you're over in Western Australia, you'd like to catch up with myself or see the latest and greatest in 4-wheel drive products, this is one show that you must not miss. And keeping with the trend of the four-wheel drive adventure shows, there are some amazing outdoor displays, and some of the toughest local 4x4 competitors will be there putting on their own extreme all-terrain show. For information on these events and more, please check the calendar at forwheeldrivetv.com.au and make your way along. We'd love to see you there.
My name is Michael Kamak. This is a winch challenge truck. Basically it's a GQ with GU running gear, Holden 5 litre. It's got 37-inch tripodors, Roger freespool winch with giggle pin top hat, and that's about it.
You got nothing. You haven't got it.
Hi Simon, how you going? I'm up here running for Michael this weekend. We'll just come up mainly to give him a hand. It's a brand new property which I've never raced at, so I'm looking forward to it. My truck's at home in the garage. We'll see how we go. Hopefully we'll be number one at the end of the weekend. We'll see what happens.
Just one thing, Simon. Last time I raced, I actually hit you in the car, and I still want my $50.
Well, viewers, that's it for this week, but we've got a huge series of four-wheel drive TV heading your way, so another 9 episodes of fantastic four-wheel drive experiences right across the world. Remember, jump onto the Four-Wheel Drive TV website. We've got stacks of prizes and giveaways. Get on there, send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. Well, I'm Simon Christie. Tread lightly, keep it safe, play hard. I'll see you next week.